Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, I want to let you know about our 2022 Champions t-shirts now available on AppalachianOutlaws.shop. This is the first time you're able to get this product online this year. Use code OUTLAWS for 10% off at the checkout. Enjoy today's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the Run What You Brung super modified trucks from the Beast of the East Truck and Tractor Pools in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. This is a great class full of blower trucks, diesel trucks, two-wheel drive trucks, you name it. They are battling it out today. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and get ready for a jam-packed episode. And what a matchup that we have this evening. This is a class full of champions here. Just about every truck you see on your screen here right now has won a points championship, whether that be with Appalachian Outlaws, Full Pool Productions, Interstate, East Coast, you name it. One of these trucks has done it here. So gonna be a great lineup and a great show here tonight for you. And we're gonna be kicking things off with James Barter, the Barter Turbo Service sponsored machine. Let's see what he can do here. And he's going to end up keeping that distance, 338.67, and the sled is set. What a run for the first truck down the track here tonight, and I'd say he made a really good choice keeping that distance because that's going to be a tough one to beat. And next up on the track is going to be our 2022 points champion. This is Jerry Berghoff with the Attitude Adjuster Reloaded truck, coming all the way from West Alexander, Pennsylvania here tonight to put on a show for the fans and try to get to that #1 spot yet again. So let's see what he can do. This is the Attitude Adjuster Reloaded, Jerry Berghoff. And we'll take a look at your replay here. 334.45, going to be about 4 feet shy of taking over the #1 spot here tonight. He creeped into the throttle there, gave it all she had by a couple truck lengths, and just did not have quite enough. But next up's going to be another diesel truck, Tom Hassler, the Hassler Diesel Performance truck here from Bethel, Pennsylvania. More of a local truck to Lebanon compared to some of his competitors here tonight. Has a little bit of experience here on the track. He's also a sponsor of Lebanon Beast of the East Pools. So he has a lot of experience on this surface. Let's see if it pays off for him here tonight. And he's going to be right in the mix as well. 331.2 going to be the final distance for him. Got in it really quick there and had a little bit of tire spin on the takeoff. That could have been the difference maker here. Ran a very similar line to the other two trucks so far. A great run. And next up is going to be your current East Coast Pro Poolers points leader. This is Norm Newswanger with the Chapter 11 truck. He's been all over the country the past couple years competing against the best pro stock diesels in the country. So he's here at Lebanon here tonight to put on a show. The distance to beat, 338.67 for him. So let's see what the Chapter 11 truck can do here. Norm Newswanger making sure that chain's tight, and here he goes. And man, he was on his way to a picture-perfect run, but had a little bit of bounce there at the beginning of the track. So that might have been the difference maker there, but he's up there. 335.86, going to be the final distance for him. Just 3 feet away from taking over the lead. So that little bit of tire hop there might have been what stopped him. And here he is, the only two-wheel drive truck in the class here tonight. This is Kevin Landis with the PA Ridge Runner. Last year, he was on his way to his first ever points championship with the Appalachian Outlaws. Had a little bit of a disaster at the finals, but he redeemed himself this year. He got the first win of the season at Listy Grove last month, and he is looking to get his second win of the year here at Lebanon tonight. So let's see what he can do here. The PA Ridge Runner gonna tighten that chain and take off here. And man, he just never got a hold of that track, never had that nice wheelie going for him to get down there with a lot of speed and momentum. Gonna stop him at 323.52. A good looking run for him, but you can just tell by the distance he had no traction. But still a great run. And next up's going to be Brad Berghoff with the Attitude Adjuster 2 truck. This truck's been through a lot of different variations over the years, but man, do they have this truck fine-tuned now. One of the top running trucks every time he shows up to an Appalachian Outlaws event. So looking for that #1 spot here tonight. His dad couldn't do it. He's going to try to redeem the Berghoff team, get that #1 spot. Let's see what he can do. And man, oh man, he's up there. 337.34, going to be about 1 foot shy of taking over that #1 spot. But he had such a smooth run down the track. Straight like an arrow down through there. Going to bump up right against that leader cone, but not quite enough. And with one truck left in the class, the top 5 is split between 5 feet of each other. And it's really interesting to see that because you have the diesel trucks, the blower trucks, the two-wheel drive. They all have to set their truck up differently and drive differently to be able to perform on this kind of pulling surface. So to have them stacked in there as competitive as they are, really interesting to see. But here he is. This is Jeremy Denton with the 2 Disturbed truck, a top running truck on the East Coast Pro Pullers circuit. Let's see if he can take that #1 spot away from James Barter. Here he goes, 2 Disturbed. And we'll take a look at your replay here. He had a very similar driving style to the other diesel trucks in this class, but by the end of his run, you could just tell there was no traction in the front end of that truck. Left him at 318.36. Gonna be the final distance for him and good enough to get right there in the pack. But nonetheless, a great showcase by these super modified Run What You Brung trucks. Here's your winning run once again. James Barter from Elizabethville with the 2017 Ford F-250 Barter Turbo Service. And what a great showcase of these trucks here tonight. James Barter goes away with the win and takes his first ever Appalachian Outlaws victory here tonight. Brad Berghoff close behind him at 337.34. Norm Newswanger 335.86. That's going to round out your top three here tonight. And on next week's episode, we have these small block and big block high output four-wheel drive trucks battling it out at Lebanon Beast of the East. You don't want to miss it, so be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next week.